Almost all the cameras these days can shoot in lock profile, and they all claim that with this lock profile you can get greater dynamic range and better overall image quality. Well, that's not totally true, because lots of people, lots of users are using it in the wrong way. In today's video we're gonna talk about it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this new video on my channel. In today's video we're gonna discuss the lock profiles on the cameras. These lock profiles are like the flat profiles without colors, without contrast, that your camera can record. And nowadays all of the cameras, whether your smartphone, your action camera, or even some mirrorless cameras, some entry-level mirrorless cameras, they have this lock profile baked in on the camera, so you can use it. And basically you have to post-process the footages, you have to color grade your footages in order to give them that nice colors, that nice contrast and nice mood that you would like to apply to your footage and that you would like to transmit to your audience. So basically shooting in the lock profile is somehow similar to shooting in RAW in photography. And to be honest, this is really interesting to start color grading your footages to give them the look that you would like to, but this is not easy at all, and this can be easily time consuming for you. On another note, some creators are creating their own LUTs and they are selling them on their websites. LUTs means lookup tables. These are color profiles that those creators made, so you can apply to your log footages and you can get similar results if you are using the same kind of settings. But the main problem is that I've been seeing lots of comments recently saying, hey, I got your LUT but I didn't get the footages that I would like to get with these LUTs, because they are really different from what you get on your videos. And that made me make this video, because even myself, I've been making lots of errors when using the lock profiles, especially when I'm testing the new action cameras since last year, since 2023 and 2024. And it's somehow something that I should work on, and I thought that I can tell you about it so you can avoid making this mistake. Before I go more in details about this issue on the lock profile, let us be honest. Write me down in the comment section below how many times you use the lock profile, whether on your smartphone, on your action camera, or on your mirrorless camera. I would like to know that. And how many times you preferred using the auto exposure mode, whether on your smartphone, on your action camera, or even on a mirrorless camera. Write me that in the comment section below. I think you guessed it by now, color grading your footages that you already record in lock profile, if you use the auto exposure mode, can present three main challenges. Number one is inconsistent exposure. Let me explain that. When you use auto exposure with your camera and you are walking around and you are changing the scene from place to another, and the light is changing from a place to another, the camera will adjust the exposure automatically. And when you apply a log profile or a LUT on your log profile in post-processing, you have to change that frame by frame, or let's say scene by scene, because the light is changing dynamically. So you cannot apply one single LUT or one single color grade to the whole footage. That's the main problem when using auto exposure and log profile and then coming back later to your computer to post-process and color grade. Number two is clipped highlights and crushed shadows, because sometimes when using the auto exposure mode with log profile or with any other profile of your camera, you will get overexposed highlights and underexposed shadows. If you are using log and then you can correct it in your post-processing software, of course you can get a better dynamic range, but you cannot get all the info from the clipped highlights or the crushed shadows. Keep that in mind, because you cannot get what is missing in your image. Number three on my list is color shifting, because these days, let's be honest, when we use auto exposure, we use with it auto white balance. Even though the white balance on the camera, the auto white balance on the cameras are quite nice these days, but in log profile, I really don't recommend it, because the camera will adjust the colors according to your scene. Imagine you are walking and vlogging, and the shadows, the highlights, the colors in the image are changing, and the camera will address this issue according to your situation. According to every single frame, the white balance will change. So if you are applying a color process, a color grade to your footage, if you are applying a lot to your footage, that will be time consuming because you have to adjust it frame by frame, exactly like the camera will do in live if you are shooting in a standard profile. And you don't want to get into your computer to edit your file and to edit your video and to discover that you have this issue, because even though you can repair a big part of it, but it's really time consuming and it's really tiring to do. And you can find variable ND filters for a cheap price from F Concept, by the way, using my link down below. And this one has a variable ND stops from 2 stops to 5 stops, and it has a CPL built in, a polarizing filter, so you can get some nice images if you are filming through water or on the water surface or near some glasses or something like that. This one is very interesting to have, and it's not very costly. You can find it for all size of lenses. I'm using this one because it's small, compact, and I can put it on top of my kit lens from Sony. This one is 40.5 millimeters. It's so tiny, so small, and the most important thing is that I can fix my exposure on the camera, and I can use this ring here to adjust my exposure and to have a fixed exposure throughout all of the footage that I'm recording. And this one is a game saver if you are shooting in log profile with your camera. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative, because personally I had this issue when I was testing the GoPro Hero 13 Black recently. I switched to log profile and I didn't change the exposure. I kept it on auto exposure, and I had a nightmare when I was editing the footages, and that's why I decided to talk about it in today's video, so you can avoid having the same issue in your videos. Thank you for watching, and ciao for now.